Welcome back to County Connection. For this segment, we are going to talk about fire and fall prevention with Lori Williams of the Summit County Community and Senior Center and Steve Lipsher from Lake Dillon Fire-Rescue. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so Summit County government and Lake Dillon Fire recently entered into a partnership to initiate a program for fall and fire prevention for older adults in the community. So what was the genesis of this partnership?
Interestingly, the National Fire Protection Association was offering a program, a training program, for which we could apply for a scholarship to attend. And they were looking to team up a fire department with a community social service organization, seniors center directors, health directors, that type of thing. And so I approached Amy Wineland, the public health director in Summit County, and she said, I have just the person for you to team up with. So Lori and I went out for some training and it was all sort of simultaneous with our recognition that falls are a major problem, particularly among seniors, but across all age groups up here in Summit County, and that anything that we could do to help prevent them would be a public health benefit.
Sure.
So we were interested in doing that, and then the scholarship sort of fell into our laps, and we thought we should take advantage of that.
Excellent. And I agree, there's no better organization to partner with in terms of seniors and social services than the Summit County Senior Program, which is amazing.
Thank you.
So now that you guys have gone out and gotten this training from the National Fire Protection Association, so what are the next steps in terms of rolling this program out into Summit County?
So the very next step is for Steve and myself to give a short presentation and invitation for people to come to a formal training. And that presentation is scheduled for July 14th at the Senior Center following a Monday night dinner. Monday night senior dinner. So Steve and I will give a 20-minute dissertation, little examples, little skit, little trivia games to get people engaged and make them want to come to the training. That's scheduled for August 26th and August 28th at the Senior Center. It will include an hour-long training and then a free lunch.
Okay, and then so who is the training designed for?
Good question. We want to have people who interact with seniors regularly, anyone from the Meals on Wheels people to even firefighters who may have occasion to visit seniors in their homes.
Okay.
And the idea being that we want to, in a non-confrontational way, introduce seniors to some good safety concepts so that they don't have injuries from falls.
Right. So these are kind of train the trainer types of exercises, not actually training folks to implement the
Now there is also
themselves.
a component of that, and
That is correct. So not only do we have Meals on Wheels, we have the nurses, family practitioners, the fire department will have neighbors helping neighbors, and medical transportation people that go into the home. We also have some seniors that want to train the program, not only here but in other areas, so it'll go statewide eventually. And we have one person on board to do that already. So not only will it be volunteers going into homes and maybe noticing that this rug doesn't have a non-stick back on it and it could be a tripping hazard, that type of thing, to kind of make them aware of what the surroundings are and what's going on in the home. How can they help prevent some of these things from happening?
Okay.
And then additionally, we have already started signing up seniors for some screening just to gauge what are their fall risks. Have they fallen and been injured in the past? Do they have any physical disabilities? Do they live alone? And there's a whole checklist of questions. And so we've gotten, just in a real pilot program, set up some great feedback from seniors, getting some idea of what they actually need in terms of education and maybe adaptations within their homes to help them.
Okay. And so are these kind of a self-assessment, or is it an interview?
No, so there's a grant, and that's being formatted or run by Pat Aiden, who's a physical therapist, and she actually does the fall prevention screenings at the center, and then she'll recommend what their next step might be. Would it be being in partnership with Centura to go to the Stepping On class? Would it be for people to go take her in a balance class? Or would it be for us to use another partnership through CMC for the Tai Chi class? So what is their next step, or do they need to see their physician?
Okay.
So.
Great. So let's dive a little bit into the meat of this treasure trove of knowledge that you two have been accumulating. So can you talk about some of the tips and things? Let's focus on falls first. What are some of the things around the home that people might not necessarily think about, but that are sources of falls?
So a good, first and foremost, is when they're getting up from a chair or getting out of bed. Are they really taking the time and not being in a hurry to try to get to the phone or try to get to their animal, to help their animal or whatever? But they need to make sure that they're steady enough, whether it be to hold on to something or sit in bed for a minute until they get their balance and then get up. So that would be one thing. Another thing would be to have handrails down both sides of their stairs so that they can grip both sides and not just one, to prevent them from tripping. And then making sure, of course, that they have adequate footwear. Slippers can cause people to fall, tripping on things. Socks can make people slide across a wood floor.
Sure.
So all these things are important. And I'll let Steve touch on the fire, just
Great.
some of the fire.
So one of the first things that we're interested in seeing is that they have working smoke detectors in their homes.
Sure.
And that's one of the things
And that's a good tip for any age.
It is. And that's one of the reasons why the National Fire Prevention Association got involved, is just the recognition that even homes that do have fire smoke detectors in them, many of them are older than 10 years old and therefore
Okay.
need to be replaced. Batteries have died years ago and people haven't noticed it.
Sure.
So we're definitely going to be testing that. We're going to be talking with people about use of space heaters and making sure that they have adequate space around them. Cooking, never leaving cooking unattended in the kitchen. All of these things lead to fires, and we see it again across all demographics, but particularly among seniors, where they get cold easily, so they use space heaters, and if you don't give them adequate space, they become fire hazards.
Okay, good. So for folks who are interested in getting more information about how to prevent falls and how to prevent fires in their home, or if they're interested in volunteering and learning how to become trainers and help folks prevent these things in their homes, how should they get involved?
So they should go to the senior page website for the county website. We have just a short blurb on there about how to get involved. They can contact the Community and Senior Center. All of our staff is very well aware of the trainings, and we have the sign-up sheets there. You can call Steve at the Lake Dillon Fire Department. He'd be glad to help you. And just to kind of give you a tidbit of the training, we want to make it fun, and that's how we learned. They made it fun, they made it memorable, and that's why they call it Remembering When. And so I'm going to put Steve through one of the little exercises that we did there. And this would be based on groups. So you have one group here and one group here. And you have teams, and you go through trivia answers. So there's a question, and then there's a bonus question. So you can earn an extra point for the bonus question. It kind of ties everything together. So with
tap
that,
into
Steve,
people's competitive
yeah,
streaks.
exactly. So with that, Steve, name the 3 lead actors in the movie Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Well, see, I'm a movie buff, so I would know that it's Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, and Spencer Tracy.
Okay,
Pretty
so
good.
that team gets a point. Let's see if they can answer the bonus question. And the bonus, you get little prizes for this.
And
stuff
the idea being that you want to tap into memories of people's younger days.
Oh, okay.
And so the trivia might be focused on a certain era in their lives. We might play music that comes from that. And we find that lots of times will engage people and get them going. And interestingly enough, you see that even among people who have dementia. that you can often play a song and they'll know the words to it and be able to sing along.
Okay, cool.
Or know the artist, that type of thing.
Good.
And fortunately, I'm speaking in part on behalf of Lori. Our seniors in Summit County, generally speaking, are an incredibly fit and healthy population, and they have very few issues, relatively speaking. But we all can certainly learn to be more careful and to avoid, stacking stuff on the stairway where it becomes a tripping hazard. Not using extension cords across the floor, that type of thing.
Right. All right. Well, this all sounds great. A great service that you guys are bringing to the community. So, so can you let folks know what phone numbers they can call
Sure.
to get in touch with you?
So our phone number at the Senior Center is 970-668-2940. And if you don't want to leave a message there and you want to talk to me directly, that would be 970-668-2945. Steve?
And you certainly can have people call me at 262-5209, and I'll half the time be referring them to Lori if I don't know the exact answers.
All right. Well, thanks, you guys. This has been great. And stick with us. Next up, we'll have Dan Schroeder from Summit County CSU Extension, and we will be talking about the Summit County Chipping Program.